Sergio Perez wins in Azerbaijan to take his 6th career victory, to beat his teammate.
Behind those fast hands. Oh, Luis is hurt again.
And both of them.
They're trading and Areola's getting. Oh! Ruiz is hurt again. And he's going to be.
Rossi on the brakes and leads the way into turn 1.
Giovinazzo and Rossi head to head, side by side, with a whole shot. It's going to be Rossi on the brake. Rossi.
Chelsea level. And Axel is.
Good afternoon, it's Sports Hub on Super Screen Television, and it's a Monday edition. How was your weekend? Mine was splendid. So many interesting sporting events to go through, and the big talking point is Newcastle doing it the way we say it back here in our neighborhood. Well, we'll look at so many issues as it concerns other sports, but our major focus this afternoon will be on the National Youth Games that kick-started on Saturday in Asaba Delta State, to be very precise. Medals are beginning to pour in, but the big news is that the minister is promising that athletes who actually excel will represent the country at the Commonwealth Game, which is quite a commendable one. We'll also take you down the through of looking at the NNL. Yes, somebody said there was an abridged league just this afternoon. That news was debunked, and it simply tells us that the communication level between the league management and those managing our football have some issues. We'll take you straight to the foreign scene. We'll look at motorsports. We'll also talk about interesting angle of certain other sports within the show, and I can assure you it's going to be a bumper package as usual. It's a full house, but my name is Princewill, Oviesan, and they call me the Duke. Olasunkanmi Shobowale is right here with Mr. Komi. How is it today?
Yeah, good afternoon everyone, good afternoon to us. It's a lovely Monday afternoon. It's raining in the morning, but now it's sunny in part of Lagos, and we are here in the studio to talk sports, something that we love to do always.
Something we love to do always, and it's damn right, we talk sports with utmost passion. Also joining me this afternoon is Nwakaego. Joel, how's it?
Always a pleasure to be here. It's a Monday. Like I said, I love Mondays. It takes me down to the weekend. I really enjoy the EPL and Newcastle. Quite a passion. Anyway, let's keep doing what we're doing the best.
Yeah, we'll talk about the EPL, and we'll look at some very big talking points, especially the 8-0 Newcastle had. Like Joel says, when you have the opportunity, you seize it properly and utilize it. But we're starting from the home front. The sport minister says, let's sue for peace and greater unity as the 7 national youth games flags off right here in Azerbaijan. Of good notes, I started following the national youth games with the edition in Kwara State. It has always been there, but I saw a level of seriousness, level of statistic input when it comes to data collection from the Kwara edition. Asaba is taking the 7th edition, and all states are right in there.
I'm happy the way it started, because if you look at, from the very first time it started in 2013, I believe as we progress, we try to make sure we do more than what the way it started from the beginning. Looking at this, the games since its inception, there have been tremendous changes, especially in terms of catching young talents, so making them superstars. Because like I said, since youth games, that was one of the likes of my favorite Ashley, espn and the likes. So I think it is one sport that really wants to stay in Nigeria. And the way it is right now, the must be better than the sports festival. So I don't want to believe the government should look into it properly, give them more facilities, more input, probably bring up foreign sponsors so we can really get higher participation.
Foreign sponsors, why not the ones in here?
Well, yeah, I mean, when it's local sponsors can get their hands in it, probably go for it.
All right, it's a game that has over 35,000 participants, and there will be 34 games, and all the states in the federation, including the federal capital, are actually participating. That's the opening ceremony where the sports minister and the governor of Delta State were exchanging complete pleasantries. Now, so let me come to you. The National Youth Games is now a fundamental precept. We've always advocated that we should have a kind of a scenario where young ones are discovered, nurture them into limelight. Do you think the National Youth Games has actually fitted into such scenario.
It is, and it will continue to be in the sense that when the fundamental aspect of it, if we uphold it very well, if we don't let it go, and that is transition from now till when they become global stars. That is the main purpose. You can't just say you want to discover them and abandon them. The national youth game, it's something that it's so important to the point that it is a life wire of Nigerian sports. You understand? And this is the only aspect of giving back to the grassroots. Because the best of talent is in the grassroots. Exactly. It's not until when they become global stars they now begin to play claims to they are Nigerian. Remember what we've been saying about the Super Falcons. It goes to the point that we have to be knocking doors in the UK, in US to look for girls. Whereby we have girls all over Nigeria that are playing our the females league in Nigeria. Yeah. We are not looking into them. The national youth game, it's all about. There is something that I put in a book. That I've been looking for opportunities to see the new minister now. Let him sit down. He's been in office now. After this swearing, we have not seen his own agenda. Let me put it that way. So where the national youth game comes.
No, he has one agenda. He said he's going to learn.
He's learning on the job.
He's going to learn. Yes, he's not.
I don't mind anybody coming into sport. I mean, to come and lead sport in Nigeria. But
you must be business minded.
You must be business minded.
That's it.
That's the part of it. Because to run sport, you need money. Yeah. You need somebody that can sell sport as a brand for us. The national youth game, we are talking about channeling talent from the grassroots to global standard, and that is the fundamental aspect of it.
I'm happy because a lot of people keep taking part in.
Yes. Since about 3 days now, from the start of this competition, they've been bashing on those states. You ask me why?
Why?
Because the athletes from that state, they were poorly kitted. They were as in extremely poorly kitted.
Talking about poorly kitted, a couple of months back, I had like this protest talking about unpaid wages.
Yes.
I saw something.
You now ask yourself that at the state level, at the local government level, how do they source for money? Because everybody's waiting for government subvention. How do they source for money
from the federal to the state to the local? Because the local council and all the
what's the government saying is, aside those funds that are coming from, how do you source for money to sustain your program?
Yes, you and I know that there's no amount of. If we put the whole of Nigeria budget down, you can't run. It can't run sport.
Right. It's quite notable to say that Delta State has taken the mantle to actually host the 7th edition of the National Sports Festival, and the Sport Minister thanked Delta State government for taking that great responsibility in ensuring that the National Youth Games continue to propel. Away from that quickly, Joel, let me come to you straight. In the course of his speech right there at the opening ceremony, the Sport Minister did say, and is on record, that athletes that excel pretty well will represent us at the Commonwealth. Is it a better ground to kick off? I'm a little bit worried. This is my personal opinion, though.
No, I'm not worried because I think you know exactly what he's talking about. Because after the Youth Games, comes the Sports Festival.
Commonwealth Games.
Commonwealth Games.
Not all African Games. Not all African Games.
Going to the Commonwealth Games
that is not the right thing to do. That's because we have a sports festival that comes up to. That is sounds like a bedrock, and like it's trial, like what we had before, the Moby Track Afrique. It's like a trial to.
It's Commonwealth Youth Games.
Commonwealth
the Commonwealth Games. No, not the Commonwealth Games. The Commonwealth Games itself.
That's what the minister said.
It's not a youth Commonwealth Games. I mean,
it boils down to the plan.
It's a wrong pointer for me.
We've
athlete for the youth games.
We need to get our objectives right.
Yes, I agree with you.
Are we going to the Commonwealth Games to establish talent or to win titles?
If you ask me,
looking at the talents from this level, no, I mean, they're not ripe enough to go into the Commonwealth Games.
If you ask me, gentlemen, if you ask me, when you get to the Commonwealth, at that level, your pedigree is well solidified. You don't take rookies to the Commonwealth.
Exactly.
You can take a rookie to the Olympic because you just come to participate. But to the Commonwealth,
our objective is to expose them to the global sport.
Okay.
The global standard. Fine.
But what happens to the All African Games?
The All African Games,
I was expecting the minister to say yes.
Then the All African Games.
Even if he says the All African Games, it's still, but the Commonwealth at that big podium.
That big stage.
But
that point is a wrong point.
Depends on what comes first. if it is what's called national youth sports officer, like the one that's coming up in the state, whatever talent you get from that, from the national league, expose them to some level, add them to the establishment. Then from there, you are going to eat. You kind of, I'm not saying you should take talent here, unless the objective of Nigeria of going to Commonwealth Games is just to go and show talent that okay, we discover a new set.
Then where would the funds come from to go, waste money?
For me, comment like this, probably when you're extremely excited, you just want to play with the gallery. I expect the federations to be involved in programs of this magnitude.
Sure.
For the sports minister, he has his own monitoring and supervisory level. The federations are supposed to report back to him. Probably at the point of declaring the event open, he just wants to ginger and let these young ones have the swagger.
He has a media team that made those speech for him. Playing to the gallery.
Good. All right. The minister has spoken, and the federations are on the top gear to ensure that athletes that are discovered will actually represent us. Like Bill rightly said, it's a better tapping ground to get young athletes who are ready to give in their very best. It's a ground to get young ones who really want to get committed to a profession when it comes to athletics, you name it. But talking about athletics, that's my next story, Olasunkanmi. Why is it that when it comes to athletics, a lot of people have this sudden passion attached to the tracks?
Yeah.
Because the event will commence today.
One thing we need to understand is that aside from not taking much from you, it's something that there is hardly anything we do that doesn't involve running.
Let me ask you, when you were in school, did you run?
No, I played table tennis.
Just table tennis.
It's obvious he didn't run.
That's what I'm saying. That in almost everything we do, there is nothing that doesn't involve running.
I'm not being sarcastic here. I have a reason for asking Sukomi. Olsen Boat was a very tall man.
I was even expecting to say he did basketball.
Olsen Boat did run. He's a very tall guy.
I started with basketball. I strained my knee, and I was like, I could do. Well, my eyes was for.
You're not going for kickboxing. You have this long reach.
No. Kickboxing that time in Nigeria.
The question still remains: why is it that a lot of people put up so much emotion when the field and track event comes up, especially on the track?
One thing that is very easy to derive from there is the fact that in athletics, your talent helps a lot without you needing an agent. If you want to be a footballer now, you still need somebody to like connect you to somebody, take you to work. The moment you run national stadium here or Onik or Abuja, and you run sub 9 seconds.
Okay.
There is somebody somewhere calling you already. Please come.
Let me ask you this question.
Wrong without substance.
Let me ask you this question. Do you have specialties? Some people say, I can't do 400, I do 100, 200. Some people say, I do marathon.
Yes.
You have specialties, right?
Definitely. That's where the technical input of managers come in.
Okay.
Once they test you on so many specialties, and they were like, okay, this is what you put that, this is what you put that.
I'm asking you this question.
No.
Some time ago, when Tony Rubo used to take us.
Okay.
These inter-house sports were something that was so novel then. My housemaster said, okay, you're the house captain, you've done 100, you've done 200. The guy was supposed to run 400 meter, collapsed. We don't know what happened. He now said, as a house captain, come and run 400. I was like, They gave me first, I came with third. The man was mad. I was like,
funny enough, if you're good in the 100, in the 4x4 relay, you take either the first or the last.
That's 4x4. This is 400 meter.
You're running twice.
Yes.
If you read through our interview, he tried so many specialties until she decided because of her light, figure. She believes that hurdle is okay for her.
Because she can hop.
She can hop.
But at the same time, you need somebody with a technical, genius.
Obviously.
To let you know, look, this is what you're good at.
That's why you're the coach.
That's what we're even lacking now back in Nigeria. No. He's
from Balogun. All right, the National Youth Games is ongoing. So much excitement, if you ask me. And a lot of people actually thought it was just going to be a jamboree, but the organization capacity of the Delta State government and those on ground has simply shown that Delta is number one when it comes to sports. And we'll bring you the medal table when we do come on air on Wednesday by God's grace, so that you can see that states are beginning to pick up medal. There's healthy rivalry among the young ones, like what Joel earlier said. Secondary school students are participating in the National Youth Games, so it's a good, healthy development. Joel, let me round up with you on this National Youth Games. We have a problem because we cannot be looking at the positive side and we're not talking about the negative side. The problem is, after all said and done, most of the athletes we gather, we don't utilize them or keep data about them.
It's a big problem. This project started way back. Now, we were part of the university games that took place in Unilag. We saw a lot of athletes because they had like swimming events, they had basketball. Even the guy that was even doing the dunk, I'm very sure that guy doesn't have a club as we speak. And you had a Musa Kida in that tournament. He was there. The federation president was there. You had somebody that did almost more than Michael Phelps. Twins that came in from Uniport. Where are they? We've always talked about.
That's the question, because the National Youth Games is supposed to be a base to have statistics of these young athletes.
You have discovered.
That is just it.
Sorry, I'm going to digress. Let me take you guys back to '99. Nigeria played Nigeria '99 against the Swiss team. Yeah, the Swiss team, they were together for 2 years. When they were discovered, 4 years before that time, they were kept in a place. They go to school, they camp them, they give them trainings, friendly games. They never lost a friendly game before the under-17. They won each tournament up to the final, and they knocked out Nigeria. We're talking about, come on, for God's sake, they kept these guys for so long. They were so used to each other, cohesiveness and all. But in Nigeria case, you go and bring a Stanley Okoro, that the second son is SS1, but he played under-17. What are we talking about?
That's a different ball game altogether. All right, we just wish all the participants right in there in Asaba for the next 1 week. Is going to be fun. And what the minister actually said that really caught my fancy is a competition where unity, peace, and friendship should thrive. It shouldn't be a do or die affair. That's because some of the states will want to each
machinery.
Yes, just go and do it.
There has to be MRI.
Good.
Check that.
No MRI. Well, it is.
This is where it starts from. You have to check 8 cheating at this level.
They are all with that level of the youth games.
All right.
Yes.
After shaving your beard.
No. I actually saw a lot of them on screen. Even the Kwara edition. You have more younger people participating now than the Kwara edition.
Okay, that's a good one, because at some point we usually hear our head of program telling me he wants to play under 17. Now, how would that be possible? Exactly.
All right, we'll get there. All right, let's quickly go on this break. We'll come back. We'll come into a very big story that is making the round. Is the NNL? The league is supposed to kick off. There have been a lot of issues. Even if the NPL, Nigerian Premier League, has not kicked off, the NNL is still struggling to put up their act. They had their Congress in Jos, resolutions were taken, and just this morning, yesterday, a news broke out that there's going to be an abridged league, which the NFF has refuted. We'll give you the press release of the NFF, and we'll discuss it when we come back from this break. Just stay tuned. All right, we're back on air, and that break was necessary because a lot of things you do in life require some break. They said, let me break. We're going straight to the NNL. It's a kind of a catastrophe between the management team of the NNL and the NFF. A press release came up just yesterday adjudicating that the NNL will go on a bridge league. Just this morning, the NFF says that news is false. And that press release was signed by the press secretary of the NNL, the person of Ama Ignis, who's a very good friend. So, guys, NNL, NPL, no way, no headway. But what is of major concern right now is, is, the NNL says they had a meeting with the NFF. The NFF says that news is false. And that press release was signed by the person of Ama Ignis, who's a very good friend. So, guys, NNL, NPL, no way, no headway. But what is of major concern right now is, the NNL says they had a meeting with the NFF. The NFF says an abridged league was agreed upon. Just this morning, NFF says nothing like that. I'm going to read out the press release, but let me get your comments first and foremost.
Yeah, the moment I saw the news, I reached out to a friend of mine, Olasunkanmi. You know him very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, when we accuse government of insincerity when it comes to communication, we should also look at ourselves also, because when this is happening at sport level, you begin to wonder, where is the truth coming from? Mm-hmm. There was actually a communication between all the clubs that it was going to be a bridge league.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But was the NFF carried along? That's the question.
The problem was, you didn't hear what I said. The meeting was actually between NFF and the club.
Okay.
There was going to be a bridge league.
So how come NFF is now issuing a counter letter to that effect?
What about the management committee of the NL?
And then that is the question I want to ask. Who's supposed to announce? Was it NFF?
It's the management committee.
Or the what's it called? The managers of NNL.
NNL announced that there's going to be an abridged league.
Yes.
And this morning, NFF says there is nothing like that. So when the managers of a brand says this is how we want to sell our brand, because you are the overall, umpire of the game in the country, now say fine, okay, the alternative are you because it is all about finances that brought the abridged league. Yes.
It is all about finances.
But before you go on to come in, I need to really read out what NFF has said. It said the NNL wishes to categorically state that word categorically, which means they're emphatic about it.
Okay.
Which is to categorically state that the publication do not emanate from the office of its media and communication department, and that its head media and communication, Mr. Ama Ignis, did not authorize or sign the write-up. Mm-hmm. So
where is the conception coming from?
That's why I want us to look at the
somebody took the letter and put the name of Ama Ignis and put his signature there.
So who do we believe? Because as of yesterday, NNL says there's going to be an abridged league as agreed by the club. This morning, 11 o'clock precisely, NFF released this press release that NFF agrees on abridged league for NNL is fake news.
Now we need to understand something. What does the law say? The NNL has no right to give decisions on their own. You have a committee. They have like
no. The NNL board has the right to issue out a decision.
Now, what it takes in terms of draws, what goes to clubs and all that.
Is the NNL. Is the NNL. The management committee is just the organizing committee for matches and whatever. The NNL board.
But you can't have a conclusion without the management committee.
No. FA has nothing to do with
I'm talking about the
hold on. I'm just using an example. English Premiership as a brand, they conclude all their programs and all that. It has nothing to do with
football. And the management committee.
There was some management committee. We decided to abridge the management committee. You see, the body itself responsible for organizing the league is the NNL.
Yes,
the Nigerian National League.
Exactly.
Now they have a board of directors. Mm-hmm. It is the policies they've issued that goes out to the communication department. Now the question now is, who signed that press statement that NFF is now saying is fake?
Oh, they come out to debunk it. That means there is no such thing. So,
but I'm trying to get you guys involved. The way we run our football here is quite funny. It's like a jungle. You remember when the abridged league for the MPFL was going to come up? It was denied, it was declined. At the end of the day, it was the abridged league that came up.
So that means there was a meeting prior to this time before. That's
exactly what I just told you now.
Because there was no sponsor, no finance, like you said.
It's all about finances. Because you can't, we are talking about Nigerian National League, which is the second tier of Nigerian football.
Let me ask you, where are we heading to? The league itself was supposed to have commenced.
Exactly.
We played 2 opener, and right now we're not even sure. I don't want to reveal some few things. A top notch in the technical committee told me, right? And those things are not palatable. As I speak with you, I can tell you that there is no love lost between Elegbele and Davis Nomu, right as I speak with you.
Okay.
Things are not working well. And there's no love lost between, smiling, there's no love lost between the MPL and GTI. because some of the conditions GTI gave are quite strenuous, and it's funny again, guys, that some few actors within the football family are actually cutting some Chinese firm to come and sponsor our league.
You can imagine.
For next to nothing.
When you had GTI to come and be sponsor, a lot of them were happy, right? Because they didn't get a piece of the action.
Apart from getting a piece of the action,
that is what it means.
Hold on, please. The current condition GTI is giving right now is mundane. You cannot tell me that you're sponsoring the league. A lot of decisions that will run the football, your management should be involved.
No. Yes.
He who pays the piper dictates the tune.
Thank you very much.
But those conditions in football are not.
No, they're not. Okay, fine. The information
in line with normal football.
How? Were those decisions going to interfere with results?
Yes, those are things we cannot divulge on the live program. Probably after the show, we'll talk about it on our own TT. But the truth remains that you're coming to sponsor, that you're dashing me money, doesn't mean that you lick your ass.
Definitely.
Good.
Definitely.
Good. So for me, my concern is this NNL, because at the end of the day, the players suffer.
Okay.
The game suffers.
But
that's the calendar.
Yes.
And the major problem is this: when sport associations sign deal that are not made public to Nigerians, this is what happens.
The initial contract obligation of GTI and MPFL was made public.
Okay.
But there is a renewal of that same deal.
So that they are now brought in all these clauses.
Yes. This is the reason why we've not had the league.
No, let me ask you a critical question.
Initially, when it came,
there were rules and regulations.
Yes.
Like, okay. And we had intention. Look, these are certain clauses that will come up the next time when I'm going to review this contract. The NFL had a prior knowledge of this, so they can't tell us we don't have knowledge of this.
They came and say, we'll do a one-time contract with you. We're interested in the league. All well and good. And if you see how it goes, we'll renew the contract. Now you want to renew
certain conditions.
Yes, no. The condition was for just 1 year. Okay. Now you want to renew the contract for 5 years. You're bringing some strenuous condition. It's like I come to borrow money from you, and I'm telling you, if you can't pay me, I'll take your wife.
On this particular deal, I was discussing with some journalists, sport journalists, some of our colleagues, and I said, for all the numbers of players that are going to participate in the league this season, are they covered by GTI?
Yes, they are. That has been taken care of. They are. That has been taken care of.
That is one. Then, that coverage, is it part of what goes to the club?
You talk about the broadcast rights.
No. As in, the money for the insurance of those players, are those funds going to be taken away from the club?
No.
Or it's part of the luxuries of the sponsorship?
Yes, part of the luxuries of sponsorship. Yeah. But there are more hidden thoughts that we can't divulge.
Let's
go on with the show. It's a topic we'll keep looking into, and either we like it or not, football must go on. Guys, time is not our friend on the show. We have just a few minutes, and I need to bring in David to debut on the show. But before David comes in, Sukomi, Boniface is the rave of the moment right now.
Yeah, jokingly I was asking, I asked, I said, who is cooking up his juju for him?
Who gave him the soap?
They say the soap. Well, we've always known German league to be a fertile league where you can score. You have a reigning, as in a rave of the moment coach now, because I can't say Arteta is a rave of the moment anymore. He has taken, he has established himself in the Premiership him to have done what he did last season. And we are talking about Xabi Alonso now. What he is doing with Bayern Leverkusen is he did it towards the end of last season.
Yes, and
now and for where they are now, you see what they did in the Champions League.
Actually, top of the table.
Come on, man.
All right, before I go into this break, I need to take Joel. Mark Verstappen or Mark Verstappen is the rave of the moment, and every pointer proves that he's going to be the next Formula One champion.
It's exactly what it is, because he has proved to be one of the best on the Formula One. Letting Hamilton know, look, you have to be second or third, because you have somebody else, locking behind. Yeah. And over time, I don't know what's wrong with Verstappen. He has lost psychologically and all that. Because he keeps telling us he has one or two issues and all that. But I believe Verstappen has come to stay. Look at the last Grand Prix, proving to be one of the best. So I don't really, probably it might just be the end of the road for
Hamilton. No, I think they're playing
mind games.
He will come back. He got what he wanted. He has renewed his contract with Mercedes.
Yes.
So next season, let's see what
I think they just want this guy to relax. You take your shine.
He has to do with the
There is a school of thought that believes that for who he is, being a black guy, they don't want him to they don't want him to surpass.
I don't think
they don't want him to surpass Schumacher.
All right, we're going on this break. We'll come back. David will be debuting on the show for the very first time, and he's eagerly waiting by the corner. We'll be right back after this break. All right, welcome back from that break. Like I told you earlier on, David Fidelis is debuting on the show, and from time to time you'll be seeing him, especially when we start talking about the European scene and one or two times on the domestic scene. David Fidelis, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here. It's my first time and it's amazing, actually, for me.
Yeah, I can say it's really amazing, all smiles and all that.
All right, Dave, I'm not going to ask you the club you support. For me, I always believe that people should look at their home team. I support Rangers International. Even if I have my foreign club, I do support. But let me ask you, what generally has propelled you to really get into journalism, sports-wise?
Like how do I put it now? This is amazing because football is like a sport for everyone, and as a journalist, it gives you like the passion and drive to keep on knowing more and more about what is happening in the sports world and everything.
All right, let's quickly take you on the through. I know you watch a lot of these foreign games. Which of the league excited you more this weekend that you really want to talk about right now before we go off the air?
This weekend, the Premier League.
The Premier League. And which team is your team in the Premier League?
Arsenal.
But Arsenal is not doing too well. They're right now in the 5th position.
We're doing well. It's just that it's just time. Like, unfortunately, we didn't win yesterday against Tottenham.
What really happened in that game? Because everything pointed out to the fact that Arsenal was in full control.
Yes, we were in full control from the start of the game.
So what happened?
It's football. Second half, we scored and we led, but I can't blame Jorginho. But he made a mistake.
And it cost them the draw. Okay, for you, Joel, which of the league excited you over the weekend? For me, the league that excited, if I tell you, you won't believe it. The Saudi Premier League.
I know you go that route. You are steadily promoting the Saudi League.
Obviously.
You will pay for it.
No problem. So which of the league excited you?
It's the German league because we had a Victor Boniface that we believe is going to be part of the Super Eagles team. That will raise the Victor and the Côte d'Ivoire, but he ended up scoring a brace in that game. And also other league, we had Moses Simon scoring for Nantes. They won that game 5-3. It was a good one. For me, all the league they did well. I mean, in the EPL, we had Newcastle.
Yes, I was going to come to you. Yeah, I'll come to you, but let me quickly talk to David. Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, that was a derby, and you could see the way Simeone was celebrating that victory, 3-1. Did you expect that in that game?
Honestly, I didn't expect Real Madrid to lose. Honestly, because as it was Real Madrid, they always win the derby.
Okay, because they've always been Real Madrid, so you expect them to pick victory.
Yes, every time, anytime they play, victory is always expected.
How do you view the La Liga from your perspective?
The La Liga is a tough league, actually, because right now teams are already picking up. Like now, if you can look at the table now, it's Girona that is second after Barcelona. So nobody expected. Teams are coming up now because football is not like as before. You can see Real Madrid enter this game will win, Barcelona enter this game will win. Because Barcelona they fought for that win against Celta Vigo. They did the comeback. It was very, very difficult, but they won.
All right, John, we got to go, but before we go, the Woto continues 8-0 against Sheffield. I don't want to put Wednesday. It's a Monday.
But I think Newcastle is a well-deserved victory because it was at some point it looked as if it was going to be hard, but they saw the loophole and they took advantage of it. Coming in from the wings, you saw all the quality players. So at some point, the coach brought all the big players out. They brought them out and brought in the young players. You had Isak. doing his thing. He had an assist and all that. So I think when you see the loophole of your opponent, you have to utilize exactly what Newcastle did. They got that victory.
All right, the EPL is hotting up. The positions are there. We can't take much on the EPL today, but we'll come on Wednesday. We'll do a detailed analysis of the teams and their positioning, and we'll look at the Nigerian players that are actually doing so pretty well right there in Europe. David, I hope to have you on Wednesday so that we can talk more. Thanks for coming to the show.
Yes, sir.
Joe, thanks for coming in.
Always a pleasure.
Sukomi was in there earlier on. Big thanks to Sukomi, and not forgetting Ahmed Adediba and Sam Eze, and my guy right in there, Tayo Oloronshola. Pelumi also did our very best. But the big thanks goes out to you all out there who stay glued to Super Screen TV. Till we meet on Wednesday. My name is Princewill saying bye for now.
And away from a second, and snaps it back for Lingard, and he's going to be bundled in by Taiwo Awoniyi! And Taiwo Awoniyi, the Nigerian, the £17 million man, scores.
It has been a phenomenal performance from Sergio Perez. The Street Fighter's done it again. Sergio Perez wins in Azerbaijan to take his 6th career victory, to beat his teammate.
Behind those fast hands.
Oh, Luis is hurt again.
And both of them.
They're trading and Areola's getting. Oh! Ruiz is hurt again.
And he's looking to be. Rossi on the brakes and leads the way into turn 1.
Gibernau and Rossi head to head, side by side, with a whole shot. It's going to be Rossi on the brakes. Rossi.